All right, good morning. We're going to be talking about soil in this lesson. So I'm reusing the anchor chart. We've already done a lesson with the anchor chart, but I wanted it here because I have made a little kind of cross section of soil. So this is an activity that you can do at home as well. I just repurposed my coffee cup from this morning, but any clear cup will work. So we're going to go through the layers of soil, and we're going to start. I'm actually going to start at the bottom, I think. So this would be my representation of bedrock. So let me get it up here close where you can see. Okay, so I just went through and I found some rocks outside, but I also use some rocks from my personal collection. So I have a red one here that is obsidian. And I chose that one because obsidian is an igneous rock. This is another igneous rock. This black one right here, it's actually called Apache's Tears, but this is an igneous rock. An igneous rock is formed from lava that has cooled and then gets pushed back down into the soil. So this is formed from volcanic magma, from lava. Once it reaches the surface, it's called lava. I've also included a little fossil here in, I think it's called an endodrite. This little guy right here, because this is the layer, somewhere in between these layers is where you would find these types of rocks. As we move up through the soil, the next thing that we come to is called subsoil. And if you see on the anchor chart, that's where I've drawn our little fossil. So where this guy would be, somewhere in here. This is subsoil. And I just dug to find some really dark, rich dirt, because actual subsoil is going to take some time to dig to. And I don't suggest doing that in your backyard. Your parents may not appreciate that. So I just found some soil that would represent subsoil. So subsoil is what sits on top of our bedrock. Okay. And this is where you would have pressure and time that's going to change your rocks, because we have the pressure of all the soil pushing down. And that pressure over time is what is going to change our rocks. This is where we get metamorphic rock. Metamorphosis means to change. Think of a butterfly. They go through a metamorphosis. So we have rock here that is changing because of the pressure of all of this soil on top. The next layer that we come to is this light brown. This is still subsoil, but we are getting closer to topsoil. So we have a little bit more nutrients here. At the top here, I found some soil that still had roots in it. Hopefully you can see that. It still has some roots in there. Okay. You can see some of the roots better on this side. It was grass, and they've just cut the grass here at KBS. And so this part had been pulled up and the grass had died. So I was able to easily pick it up. And then at the very top, I put some pretty fall leaves, because at the very top, this topsoil is where you get humus. Not hummus. Hummus is something that you eat. This is humus, and this is decayed leaves, animals, those sorts of things, but it's very rich in nutrients. So as these leaves break down, as they decay over time, right now they're pretty yellow, but we know that they'll turn brown, they'll start to crumble, and they'll get pushed back down into the soil. And that's really good for helping plants survive. They get the nutrients out of the plants and animals that have died. They're able to pull nutrients out of there. And that's why we have a lot of roots at this layer. Okay, and so this is one, I just quickly made it this morning. It took me maybe 15 minutes to go around our playground and find different types of soil and rocks to represent my layers of soil. Now we have different types of soil. You can categorize them by the way they feel. So a really thick soil, think about something like Play-Doh. That would be a clay. And we have a lot of red clay here in Georgia, so you might be able to find some in your backyard, especially after it's rained. We have silt or dirt. It's a mixture. So a lot of this is silt. This down here, this layer is probably closer to silt. And then we have sand. Think about being at the playground, like in a sandbox or at the beach. A sand is very fine. It's going to dry quickly, whereas a clay is not going to dry quickly. It's going to stick together like Play-Doh. And then silt is kind of in the middle. If I were to keep pressing down on this layer with some water, I could probably get it to stick together. But eventually it'll dry out and separate again. So that's closer to silt. The glare from that sun is, I don't know if that's better or worse. So see if you can make a layer of types of soil, layers of soil and rocks at home. You just need some kind of clear container. Go around. You can find rocks to represent bedrock, soil to represent that subsoil. Maybe create your own little fossil guy like this one. You can look them up online too. Or if you have some dino fossils, I should have brought some of my daughter's dino bones. That would have been a good representation of this layer. All right, so this is the layers of soil. Okay, I hope that helps the concept stick in your mind a little bit better.